Hi everyone, my name is Naomi and I am the Happy Bookkeeping Coach. And today I wanted to share with you something that I learned about the 10% temporary wage subsidy self-identification form for employers, or PD27. And just so you know, here's CRA's website about it. Let's see, I'm just gonna pull me over there. You can see that you need to complete and submit this form to the CRA if you are eligible to take advantage of the temporary wage subsidy and you already reduced your remittances, or you intend to reduce your remittances. So today is January 7th, 2021, so you've got until the 15th to adjust any December remittances, or remittances for December's deductions. Or you claimed the Canada Emergency Wage Subsidy, and as a result, you need to confirm on this form how much TWS you are taking advantage of that you said you were deducting from your CEWS application. And this form is really just to help CRA make sure that you've taken what you can and haven't taken more than you can. And just to sort of like match your remittances to, you know, what you should have paid once your T4s are done. So you want to make sure that you submit this form before you do your T4s. Also, if you haven't reduced enough, or if this is past January 15th, or you've given everything already, this is also a way for you to say, hey, CRA, I didn't take all of my 10% wage subsidy. I didn't deduct it from CEWS, or I did, can I get it back? It just makes everything all, shows CRA how everything all sort of works together. Anyway, so just a quick recap. There's more information on the links that I am putting in the notes in regards to CRA's websites about it. There's also a really great link to CRA's webinar on it. I say it's really great. The information's good, but he talks nice and slow for you. So I just read the transcript. Yeah, so what's my question then? I seem to have some sort of grasp on this form. Well, the thing is, CEWS, like the 75% Canada Emergency Wage Subsidy, this was paid on the days that the employees earned the money. So it was important to know what the pay periods were. But for this TWS, which was the 10% wage subsidy, which was just quick and dirty, let's just get some money out there to the people, it was paid on the paycheck date, so the paid date. And because of this, when the form didn't ask me for the pay date, but instead asked me for the pay periods, it made me question everything that I thought I knew. Let me show you what I mean by showing you the form here. So what you can see here on the form is that, so this is the temporary wage subsidy self-identification form that we're talking about. And what we're looking at right here is, it says, first of all, the total number of eligible employees employed from March 18th to June 19th. And I'm like, CRA, don't you mean paid? Or am I missing something? They should have said paid. And then over here, it asks for the pay period to and from, but it doesn't ask for the pay date, which is what everything's based on. And I'm like, okay, am I really not knowing what I'm doing here? And also, here's another thing that made me completely question my sanity. This is a screenshot of when I went to submit the PD27 online. I do it through RepaClient. If you have a CRA My Business account, there's a place that you can do it online as well. And so this is just a screenshot, so it's in Paint. But you can see that what happened is this specific client, for example, they had a pay period that went from March 2nd to March 15th, and it was paid out on March 20th. So based on the paid date, it was eligible for the 10% TWS wage subsidy. But look at what CRA says here. They say, oh, you must the value must be March 18th or later. I'm like, why would I have a pay date for, that doesn't make sense. Can you not, why aren't you asking me for the pay date and giving me the restriction there and not allowing me to go back a little further for these pay periods that are paying? Like, I know there's people out there who have like maybe a March 1st to 15th pay period that was paid on March 20th. And, you know, how do you put that in? So I did a bit of research online. Like I said, I am going to link to the website, to CRA's website. I'm also going to link to the CRA webinar that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, where CRA does go into the details of this TWS and the form and all that good stuff. And like I said, he talks a little slow and there's nowhere to speed it up, but there is a transcript, so I was able to just read down. And look at this, on slide 28, there is question 2. And our second question is, we claimed the TWS based on the instructions of remuneration, so I can't say that, I always say remuneration, remuneration, paid between March 18th and June 19th. But the form PD27 asks for pay periods. So how do we account for this when reporting? And he does give this example. If the pay period was March 1st to 13th, and the payments were issued on March 18th, the amounts may be eligible for the TWS if all other eligibility criteria are met. In Part D, enter the pay periods, and in the comments, state the dates when the payments were made. So here is CRA telling us that, you know, put it in the comments. And if you go online, you've only got 400 characters. So kind of ruled this design out, you know, before it was really bugged out, I think. But anyway, so what still gave me pause though is it says that they may be eligible. Like, is it or is it not, CRA? Please let me know. So what I went ahead and did is I did what we all do when we need to know the answer, is I went ahead and I called CRA directly. Now again, I always say when you call CRA, it's always good to find out where they're getting their information from as well, because sometimes CRA agents will have different interpretations. But in my experience today with calling CRA, it went really well. I talked to 2 people. The first lady I spoke to, I said, hey, I'm recording this in case I'm audited or reviewed. Do you mind? And she's like, nope. And then I asked her about it. Turns out that this is right. We are claiming by pay dates, and the fact that the pay periods are there, still put the pay periods in, but, you know, put the pay dates in the comments, all that good stuff. And then at the end of our conversation, I said, hey, do you mind if I post some of this conversation on my blog if it helps others? And she goes, no, I'm not very comfortable with that. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, at least I know. And I'm sharing it with you guys now. But I did have another question about a management bonus that I wanted to ask to a senior agent for. And so she transferred me to the senior agent, asked him the same thing. He was fine with being recorded. And so you'll hear him answer the question. So he confirmed, like, yes, you know, that may be eligible quote on the website right there. It's like, as long as, you know, all the other normal eligibility requirements are met, then yeah. You know, it's fine. Put, you know, the pay date. Like I said, I confirmed mine with him, the March 2nd to March 15th, paid March 30th. And I said to him, March 20th. I said to him, did you know that the CRA's website, when you go to submit through Rep a Client, like it doesn't even let you put any date before March 18th? And he's like, what? Really? So he looked at his notes, and they've got so many notes. They have so much to know. He looked at his notes and is like, you know what? They are telling us, I didn't realize this, but now I know, they're telling us that if your pay period starts before March 18th, online, put March 18th, as earliest as you can go online, and then in the comments section, put the actual pay period dates and the pay date, just so that when they process this form, they'll be able to do that. So the other question that I asked CRA while I had them was, I was 99.9% sure, but I thought, hey, while I have them, is this part right here. Let's see. Is about the wage subsidy amount claimed. And so I had a couple of clients. I have one client who missed deducting like the wage subsidy, the 10% wage subsidy from one of their remittances. So I just confirmed with CRA, this wage subsidy claimed, it's not how much we deducted from the remittances, it's how much we like eventually want from CRA, whether we've deducted it or not. And he confirmed, yep, this is the actual amount that you want to claim, whether you deducted it or not. And if you didn't deduct it, then it will be refundable, and the CRA will do a peer review and refund it to you after you jump through the hoops. And also, this is mainly for that combination of the TWS and the CEWS, the 75% wage subsidy, to make sure that they're not both being taken. Because what you were supposed to do when you submitted your application for the 75% Canada Emergency Wage Subsidy, you were supposed to say, oh, by the way, I took X amount from my remittance deductions, so I already took some, thanks. And so I do have clients that didn't even reduce their monthly remittances. So basically, for my clients that did not reduce their payroll source deductions remittances because of this 10% TWS, and they claimed 100% of their 75%, like they claimed all of their 75% wage subsidy. In this section right here, I would say we're not claiming anything. We're not claiming anything for this period or this period or this period or this period. Our wage subsidy claimed is 0. And in this way, CRA will know, okay, so they got all of it through the CEWS portal. They didn't get any of it through the TWS, and that's why these two columns even actually exist. Now, if you want to not have to deal with the fighting with the CRA online form submission, and you just want to fill out, like, just give me an old-fashioned piece of paper and let me fill it out and just give it to you guys, because this online form is, first of all, you can't put before March 18th if your pay period starts before or ends after before March 18th. You have to say it in the comments section. And in the comments section, it's only 400 characters. And sometimes you want to be a bit more, hey guys, I missed this remittance, please give it back to me, whatever, If you don't want to fight with that, you can literally just fill out the paper form, and you can then send it on to CRA. And again, I'm linking these websites for you, but you can see how you can just write it out, scan it, and submit documents, or you can just mail it. So just so you know, there's other ways of getting this information to CRA without having to fight with that online form. And so he answered all my questions, and then at the end I said, hey, can I post some of this conversation to my blog to help others? He's like, well, I'm not sure what CRA says about that. I'm like, okay, well, thank you. So he didn't say no. So here is the conversation I had with CRA. Now, this phone call conversation, I did start it right at the beginning of calling CRA. So if anybody's out there who's like, I'm kind of scared for calling CRA, well, now you can hear how easy it is. Honestly, guys, CRA is great to talk to. They're really nice people. Also, here's like the pro advice that I'm going to give you whenever you call CRA. Have their number up on your phone at 8:59 a.m. Have it on your phone at 8:59 a.m. And as soon as your phone switches to 9 a.m., hit send. And you will hear, I'm just about to play it, you will hear how by doing that, I am the #1 first person in the queue to speak to CRA, 0 hold, like none. It's beautiful. So I only ever call CRA at 9 a.m. So yeah, I show you how I call CRA, but again, you can skip right to the part in the conversation by hitting the bookmark that I've put on this video. It's, just turned 9, so we're gonna dial right now.
Calling the Canada Revenue Agency's Business Inquiry Service.
Pour le service en français, faites le 2.
For information and tools to help businesses, charities, or nonprofits apply for COVID-19 related benefits, go to canada.ca/CRA-coronavirus. Please listen carefully to our menu before you make a selection, as some of the options have changed. For the Canada Emergency Rent Subsidy, the Canada Emergency Wage Subsidy, and other payroll inquiries, press 3. For the Canada Emergency Rent Subsidy and the Canada Emergency Wage Subsidy, press 1. For all other payroll inquiries, press 2. To return to the main, you need to register for a payroll program account if you are
0.
Please hold. If you are calling to discuss specific details about your account or the account of a client, you will need to provide the business number and financial information for the business account related to your inquiry. We will need the information from your payroll deductions RP account. Please enter the 9 digits representing your business number. If you're calling for general information that does not require the agent to access a business account, please stay on the line.
Maybe I should have said the CEWS, but
Your call is important to us.
they'll
Please
direct me.
hold. You will be connected to the next available agent as soon as possible. Please be advised that some of our agents use cell phones when responding to inquiries, which may present risks. By remaining on the line, you are consenting to proceed with the call. Would you like to provide your feedback about today's experience using our telephone service? If you agree to participate, please stay on the line once you have completed your call with the agent. If you would like to participate in this survey, press 1. If not, press 0.
0.
Please note that your call, including any time spent on hold, may be recorded for quality assurance purposes.
Me too.
Thank you for calling CRA Business Information Line. Have a great day. Thanks very much, and good luck with everything.
Thank you. You too.
Hi there, Business Inquiry. Here, she can help you.
Yes. Hi, my name's Naomi. How are you doing today?
Good, yourself?
Very good, thank you. I'm just recording this conversation in case I'm audited or reviewed. Do you mind that I'm recording it?
No.
Wonderful. So another question, just to confirm what I spoke with the last person really quickly. I know people need you. The form itself is a bit confusing insofar. I'm looking at the PD27. I'm looking at Part D. How it wants it by pay period, but I have confirmed that nope. Yes, we put the pay periods down, but it is paid date. That is the important. That's how we claim the TWS on, even though the CEWS is based on earned date. The TWS, or the 10%, is based on the paid date.
Yeah, they couldn't get the two of them to agree for some funny reason.
Well, it was. I think the 10% was just quick to get the job done, and this is a great way to do it, right? It's just take what you would have paid, take out 10%, withhold it from the payment, then you can get that money from us quicker. You know what I mean? I think that, and just much easier to calculate.
You're just not paying it to us, so you got it right away.
Exactly. I think so. I can see the logic behind it. The problem I have is, first of all, the question that says total number of eligible employees employed from March 18th to June 19th. I'm like, do they mean paid from March 18th to June 19th? Because that's what I'm going with. I do have a client who has a pay period March 2nd to March 15th. Paid March 20th that we claimed the TWS on. And I'm going to put that in, and I'm going to put in the comments the paid date. But the pay period, when I remit it online, I don't know if you know this yet, it only lets you say March 18th. You can't go before then. Have you heard this?
Nope.
So if we submit the form online, I'm using Rep a Client, and it says, what pay period are you adding? And it doesn't say it wants you to add individual pay periods, but because I first fill out the PDF to make my life easier and know what I'm getting myself into, I knew, it means pay period, all of the individual ones. I get it. Okay. So I go ahead and I put in from March 2nd to March 15th, and it gives me the proverbial finger. It says, no, we won't accept anything other than March 18th or June 19th in between. Nothing else. You cannot put a date before March 18th online. So that is the main reason that I called today to the first late, like the first tier, and I'm just confirming with you, but she's like, go ahead and put March 18th in the from and the to, and in the comments section, put the March 2nd to March 15th, paid March 20th, and why that goes in that box. So are you surprised too that I couldn't put March 2nd to March 15th online? Like, it's the reason I'm calling and making me question everything I think I know about this stuff.
Yeah, they haven't told me it was doing that. So it is kind of a surprise. Mm-hmm. Mind you, I could see, why they would sort of want to do that. So they're trying to narrow people in that are filling out January, February, March, like the whole year's worth of payroll, to limit that. But, that's hard where you go, it's got to start March 18th.
Yeah, I definitely think everybody would know what they're doing more on our end if there was a paid date column. Then we'd be, because if we're calculating the 10% wage subsidy based on pay date, yet they're asking us for the pay periods and not asking us anywhere on the form or online what the pay date was, they're going to have a tough time matching it to the monthly remittances if they're trying to do that, because it won't match, right?
Yeah.
But
that's not an issue because that just no, they're telling us internally that if the period start date from is earlier than March 18th, enter March 18th.
Excellent. And put in the comments, right? To make everybody happy. Does it not say put in the comments section what you did? Because if I was reviewing something and saw a pay period from March 18th to March 18th, that'd be like 1 day pay period, $5,000 really?
Yeah, they're saying complete the additional comment section as well.
Awesome.
I just have to get down to reading it all because there's lots in between when they start with put March 18th down to everything else, because then they go over gross remuneration, income tax, and those amounts, and then they go, yes, complete the additional comment section.
Awesome. Sorry, I just didn't picture it properly. I just assumed you had like the Vulcan mind meld thing or like the Neo thing where you just plug a chip into your neck and you can upload all of the information. No? We haven't gotten there yet.
We're actually really humans at the CRA.
Really? I knew that. Awesome. Okay. Well, I feel confident that I have the right information to fill out this form now. One last question, super easy. You'll know it off the top of your head. The wage subsidy dollar amount claimed, I'm putting in that column on Part D, the actual amount that I want claimed, not what I actually deducted. For example, for a pay period where 10% of the earnings, eligible earnings, was, let's say, $1,200, but the income tax deducted was only $800. For that pay period, I could only do $800. I'm not putting my limited capped amount. I'm putting the actual amount that I would like to claim for that.
Yeah, you're putting the actual amount that you did claim.
Yeah, not what I deducted from my remittance, because like I said, the remittance was capped at just the income tax.
Yeah.
And
that way we can go over when we do the peer review and we get all the T4s in to see, okay, here's what you claim. And then we'd see what you'd be eligible to claim.
Okay.
So we may owe you a refund, or there may be an amount owing if you've overclaimed.
Excellent. So yeah, that's what I understood, because I did have another client who just forgot one period to claim it, like to deduct it from their remittance. And I'm like, that's okay. I'll tell them at the end of the year. They say that we're going to be able to. This was in earlier. Like, we're going to be able to tell them this is it.
They'd get caught in the peer review, and then we'd go, well, you could have claimed an extra $100, for example. And then we'd ask if they want a refund that applied to the next year or another tax liability.
Oh, those peer reviewers are going to have more work than usual, for sure. And then...
Oh, yeah, they're going to be slow. Don't expect those to come out as quick as they did in the years prior.
I wonder if CRA is hiring.
Looking at like July or something, or August.
Yeah, I might look for a job. Last one is the wage... No, and like the reason, sorry for that, not last question, it's the same question, because for the clients that I have that did take full advantage of the CEWS, I would put 0 in this column because we didn't deduct it from our CEWS claim. We're just doing it all through CEWS. So these two columns, the dollar amount and the percentage amount, that applies mostly to those clients to say we're not double dipping by accident. We're not asking for any TWS. We're only asking for the CEWS. And for them, I'm putting 0 all down those columns.
Yep, you got it, because that's really what they're trying to stop is a double dipping. If you took the 75 CEWS, you don't go and apply for the 10% TWS.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your help today. I really, really appreciate it. I feel very confident now, which is just a nice feeling. Well, thank you again so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah, you have a great day.
You too, thank you.
Thanks. Bye now.
Bye.
So there you have it, right from CRA's call center's agent's mouth on January 7th, 2021, that the 10% temporary wage subsidy is based on paid date, not on earned date, even though that the form, the PD27, that CRA designed for us to fill out so that their employees can figure out how much TWS compared to CEWS compared to the remittances that we gave for 2020, all sort of reconcile together. So even though this form that they need us to fill out is asking us for the total number of eligible employees employed from March 18th to June 19th, I think it really should have said paid from March 18th to June 19th. And even though this form doesn't give a column next to the pay periods to say what the paid date is, which is what we used to calculate this 10% wage subsidy, and even though CRA's website that you can, for the CRA My Business account, or for me, the Rep a Client login to upload using one of those forms online, doesn't let you put the date of the pay period starting before March 18th. Even all of this, that is just a victim of bad design. The TWS is based on pay date. Thanks so much. I hope that this video has helped answer your questions. It was a question that I had, and I figured if I've got it, there's going to be other people that have it too. Thanks so much, and have a good and happy day.